This is a video produced by the Thesaurus Maintenance Working Group about the Backbone Thesaurus, BBT. We would like to share with you BBT user stories and several of the benefits that you can enjoy from joining the Thesaurus Federation, a growing community of thesauri maintainers. Who are involved? The BBT is systematically curated by a cross-disciplinary team of editors coming from member organizations of the working group. The Academy of Athens, the Foundation for Research and Technology Hellas, the Deutsches Archäologisches Institut, and the Fédération et Recherche sur l'Antiquité of the Centre National de la Recherche Scientifique. Let us begin with the fundamental question. What are thesauri and what do we need them for? A thesaurus is a controlled and structured vocabulary in which concepts are represented by terms, organized so that relationships between concepts are made explicit and preferred terms are accompanied by lead-in entries for synonyms and quasi-synonyms. Thesauri must be interoperable and develop a common language that overarches specific thesauri. That is what a meta-thesaurus does. But can a meta-thesaurus make thesauri interoperable without altering them? The BBT provides the solution. The BBT is a meta-thesaurus for humanities research data that provides interoperability for local thesauri. It offers top-level concepts, facets and hierarchies that serve as the common ground for thesaurus building. It has a logical, clear and consistent structure, and it promotes objectivity and interdisciplinarity. That is, it enables cross-disciplinary resource discovery. It is a multilingual meta-thesaurus. Its content is available in 4 languages: English, French, German, and Greek. Take a glimpse at what our users say.
But if you hear a figure like Martin Durr saying, oh, we're going to do a very small and tiny thing here, and we're going to try to cut it off and keep it clean, small, and handy, that was when my attention was at 100%, and so we went into that, and naturally it was a lot of discussion, because if people have to cut off things that, or would like to bring things in that they find important, but if you want to have a system that is working on a broad scale, you got to make your bargains, and you got to kind of find a workarounds for all the most refined expressions of knowledge and logic and everything. You know, you got to just make a stop at some point and find other ways to express them, and that was then developed when we participated in this project. And thanks to the people who do the BBT, the German Archaeological Institute was able to bring in some of its major interests or major, let's say, knowledge domain in treating material culture into the BBT. So we weren't just enforced to follow it. We could also kind of modify or bring in some of the expertise of the librarians that we have.
The BBT makes use of a small number of top-level concepts that cover the needs for arts and humanities thesauri. The top-level concepts are developed by adequate abstraction from existing vocabularies the group had access to. This bottom-up approach has led to the definition of 10 facets. Facets are the most general concepts whose properties are inherited by all narrower terms of each facet. The facets are further subdivided into an open number of hierarchies. So far, there are 20 hierarchies in the BBT. Under this small set of concepts and top terms, narrower terms from different thesauri can be effectively subsumed, providing a comprehensive first-level integration of terminologies. The BBT can provide solutions to several inconsistencies that give a hard time to researchers, curators, and data management specialists. Let us take, for instance, an institution that holds documents and research data about these documents, or people, artifacts, etc. It is most probable that the institution holds 2 documents with the same content and doesn't know about that. How do we deal with this problem? You need to combine all the different terminology and different logics that might have been applied over the years to the same thing. To make sense of it all, you need a meta-thesaurus that allows the one logic to talk to the other logic and find out what you might have in overlap. The digital resources of the Academy of Athens offer a good example of how to use the BBT structure to render interoperable all the thesauri that have been developed over more than a century by the Central Library and 14 institutes that cover over a dozen disciplines ranging from archaeology and cultural anthropology to environmental studies, astronomy and mathematics. The aim is to create a sustainable, consistent interdisciplinary thesaurus with the use of the BBT and the benefits of faceted searching, and to retrieve results that maximize accuracy, only the meaning I seek, specificity, only the results I seek, comprehensiveness, all the results I seek. For instance, I want to search the term prosopography, a term that has 2 meanings and therefore is classified under 2 distinct hierarchies. Prosopography as a form of study is a method. Prosopography as a work of art is a propositional object. Now let me explore the search options I have and the different results I get for each one of them. Searching in the thematic thesaurus of the digital repository for the term prosopography as a method fetches 1 result, whereas prosopography as a work of art fetches none. If I use the simple search option, however, in the text of the resources, I get a different result altogether. 23 results further analyzed into 1 for prosopography as a method and 22 for prosopography as a work. To add to the complexity, the Central Library, that has an index of its own, yields 56 works for the term prosopography, but does not distinguish between the 2 meanings of the term. The solution lies in a system that integrates the flat terminology of the library and both the structured terminology of the repository's thesaurus and the unstructured terminology of the simple search into 1 interoperable whole by aligning them to the higher level BBT structure. The alignment process thus transforms a complex, fragmented and haphazard knowledge representation system into a simple, consistent and efficient one. The BBT has been adopted by the IDAI of the Deutsches Archäologisches Institut and PACTOLS of the Fédération de Recherche sur l'Antiquité. IDAI has the aim to create a controlled vocabulary that represents all areas of archaeological research and to provide an access point to all projects and standardized modules of the Institute. PACTOLS is a multilingual and open repository about archaeology that is intended to provide a reference vocabulary that facilitates the sharing of scientific data and productions in archaeology on the web. Let us see what their experts have to say about their experience with the BBT and about the benefits it has brought to their work. According to them, it makes use of a small number of top-level concepts, helps you decrease the number of terms with detecting repetitions and needless or obsolete terms.
The BBT was very helpful in improving the quality of our work. It made us distance ourselves from the content of our thesaurus and its structure, and it was necessary to reorganize it thoroughly according to the BBT rather than doing some cosmetic surgery on the thesaurus. The re-examination flagged up a number of redundancies which we could not resolve before adopting the BBT.
It is a community-driven initiative that offers peer scientific support.
The first reason to use the BBT is that it is linked with other thesaurus. other vocabularies. And today, as we live in a numeric digital world, it's impossible to stay alone on your little thesaurus, little vocabulary. You need to work with others. And a second reason is that it, as I said before, it helps to organize your vocabularies under well-established categories like the CDOC CRM, for example, which is references for our disciplines. And also the third one would be that is collaborative work, and that expand the mind.
It enables fair implementation.
And so I think in the future the BBT will have a very central role in the way that DI represents its data on the web, because that is what we are forced to do this, because otherwise the funding institutions that adopted the fair data principle will not give you any euro anymore without fair implementation of the FAIR principles and without the implementation of a research data management policy. And BBT is one of the hallmarks of this kind of thinking. So I think in the reality of the data, BBT is one of our major goals, and will bring together 190 years of cataloging and tagging of knowledge and creating knowledge systems. And also I want all the IDI world information systems and their terminologies inside of the BBT.
You can find more on the Backbone Thesaurus at www.backbonethesaurus.eu.